Welcome back, everyone, to Brown Bag Bet. Sorry about that. I got confused. Back and forth, I think. Frankly, I'm distracted and still upset. Normally I would say something nice to Andy, but I just want to congratulate producer Dan and the entire city of Atlanta on making the Eastern Conference Finals. Congratulations. You did it. You knocked over a punch-drunk fighter that just kind of needed a nudge. How are you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I have some Sixers futures with you. It feels bad because again, and I talked to you about this a little off air. We were doing the deep dive last night, which if you missed that and you like betting the Euros, that's a good one to go listen to. Caleb had some good takes. But yeah, for the better, and those take longer than the show takes. Like, we get on about 15 minutes before we start BSing. We talk to the guest a little if there's one. And then afterwards, usually we'll talk to the guest for a while just because it's usually somebody we like. And then often Drew and I will stay on for a while and talk about the next show. So, like, I'm on a Zoom call for like 2 hours, pretty much the entirety of the game. And as Drew and I were talking, it's like, like he had some plus 7.5. He's like, yeah, hopefully we can sneak inside this late. And then by the end of the call, it's like he's like, we're inside the number, guy. I'm like, oh, really? Are they going to bottle this? He's like, no way. They actually completely screw it up. And then I was telling Alex on the way home, I had to pick a couple things up from the C-store, and I popped my phone out. I'm like, oh, is it over yet? I set like a final score alert. I didn't see it, so I clicked in, and Sixers were down a point. So wow, this is full on a thing this postseason. I mean, after the collapse of the Bucks the other night, and the Sixers have done it twice now. I guess are we
Almost
fools for not
identical.
just are we fools for not just live betting teams once they get down 15? I'm whoever's down tonight, I'm going to bet them, like whatever we have, and we talked about this with the absolute swing in the Nets series price with after let's just call it the Durant game. That's what it was because he was nasty. But yeah, you can see after game 3 here, DraftKings had Sixers minus 715 to win the series. They are now plus money. Obviously, facing 2 straight elimination games is tough, even as likely the better team. But yeah, tough sledding. I don't know. How do you feel about some Sixers plus 135 if you're not involved in this series? Rather
No,
than just they're what
no,
how much of a
no,
favorite are they in game 6?
no,
Couple points.
no. Just no. Yeah, they're a small favorite. Looks like they're -3. It looks like they open somewhere in that range tomorrow against Atlanta. In Atlanta again in a game that they have to win. They come back home again. I expect the spread to be in that 6, 7, 8 range, kind of what we saw in Game 5. And like you said, going back to that live question, that would probably be the best bet ever. That's what we should have done over and over again. Every time Milwaukee and the Sixers were up by 15 or more, just smash money line, smash spreads is over and over and over again. And I'm not going to blame anyone that does it again, but we'll see. It's just really been rough. And I saw Devs here ask about my opinion on Doc Rivers. I mean, I was talking about this before the chat. A lot of people like to talk about Ben Simmons' free throw shooting, which to me is a crack in a dam with a hole in it. You look at some of the things that have happened. I think starting Korkmaz has been a huge mistake. You put someone like him who kind of has an inflated ego into the starting lineup. Some of the shots he's taken are just ridiculous. Instead of leaning into your defense, putting Thibault or somebody like that on the floor, even Shake Milton, somebody like that. You look back at what he's done all season, the fact that none of these bench players know what their role is. No one has a defined position here. It's just a disaster. You look at what's happening with Tobias Harris. I mean, credit to Nate McMillan for looking at his best defensive player, John Collins, and going, you know what? I'm going to put him on Tobias Harris. Let's try to figure that out. At least I put him over here. That kind of solves that, and then I have to worry about the rest of it. We have not seen any adjustments, any plays run for Tobias Harris. They haven't done anything to try to get John Collins away from him and get him some baskets. And that's where the Sixers have been most successful all year. You watch Embiid play these incredible games, and no one else is really doing anything. And honestly, that's how a lot of the season is going. But usually there's 15, 16, 20, maybe sometime points from Tobias Harris. And you look at these games, that's all we need. We need that extra 6 to 8 points from what he's getting night to night. And it just over and over and over again, you watch these games, and it's just, you don't see the adjustments. You don't see any sort of changes. The way he even calls timeouts is odd to me. So, as someone that was really excited to have a coach that wasn't Brett Brown, I'd be happy to be someone that doesn't have a coach named Brett Brown or Doc Rivers.
Yeah, out of the frying pan into the fire with that. Maybe we'll add to the list of coaches fired. I don't know, like if the Nets win this one, if the Nets win game 6, Milwaukee's got to be thinking about it, especially where they stood in that series with all the injuries too. So, and let's take a look at that one. Milwaukee is a 5.5 point favorite. They are total right around 220. I'm kind of leaning towards the under there, but this series has been so wonky. I'll probably stay away from this one completely. You don't have a bet here? Any sort of lean or thoughts on why you're not betting it? Any live looks? Obviously, besides whatever team gets down by 15 first, we'll take. Which, who was it that had the really, really horrible first quarter? I mean, this has been a few times. I feel like it was a
It
Blazers
was
game.
Philadelphia. Philadelphia
No,
got blown out the
Like
doors by Atlanta.
about a week ago, before the Blazers were eliminated, they had one too where they scored like 12 points or something. I've done
Yeah.
some live betting without really knowing what the hell I'm doing and come out smelling pretty much like a rose. So maybe Andy's a NBA live better now. But yeah, thoughts on this one?
As I look at it, Milwaukee's taking money here. As you start to look at it, they'll be at home. Numbers starting to get a little too big for me. I was starting to see some sixes pop. And again, it looked like Milwaukee was taking some money. I'm waiting to see where the resistance here is on Brooklyn. I think this will be a spot. Will you be able to live bet and get some nice numbers on the Nets? I want to see what James Harden's going to do. I assume he's playing. But again, I don't think that as someone that's thinking about backing the Nets here, either taking the spread or playing the money line, I don't know if this number is going to get any worse. So I'm happy to wait for some information here. And then, if I don't get, I'm hoping for 6.5, hoping for a 7. If that money line somehow gets up to the plus 185, plus 190 range, I think I'm going to have to sprinkle a little bit. But like you said, live betting has been really good. It is every year in the playoffs. I mean, a lot of us that bet on the NBA do well live. And again, it's tough for this kind of format or really any format to help anyone with that. But as you're looking at this game, I think that's what you want. Try to find some positions where you're accumulating the nets as Milwaukee's making big runs, things like that. So I think I might end up with some nets here before things start. But I'm going to wait because, again, I don't think this number is going to move against Brooklyn yet.
Yeah, I'll be live betting it. I'll be cheering for a good game, watching it for sure, just because it's Thursday and I
Yeah,
don't
it
have
should be
anything
a
better.
game.
I don't have anything better to do to watch this one. But and really, you would think, aside from Reggie Miller's asinine comments, and like we're not a hot take show. We're not going to get into that horse shit. But like in every absolutely stupid comment, there is a kernel of truth. Like they are going to be gassed. Like Durant just played 48 minutes. He's got to be a little tuckered out. Like if this game does get away from him, I don't know if I'd expect like a full blown, hey, let's make a real hard final push to try to get back in this game. If they are down big late, you might see the white flag. So if you want to be live betting the Milwaukee Bucks late with a decent sized lead, like that's not something that I would completely throw out. So kind of interesting to watch how the second half progresses because
Yeah.
Brooklyn has to know like, hey, if it's out of reach, we really need to get our guys rested up and go at this full bore for game 7, get to the ECF and get on to the finals, hopefully. So, yeah, a very, very interesting series so far. I'm excited
Yeah.
for this one tonight again.
Yeah, and I know we've talked a lot about the injuries and things like that, but I actually hadn't taken the time to do what I'm just going to read through quickly here. I was trying to figure out, I had less games this season, but I was trying to figure out kind of what the compression of the schedule looked like and what the normal rhythm is. So usually what we have is there's about 4 months rest in between the finals and the start of the season. This year we only had 2 months.
Yeah.
And in a regular season, they play 82 games. Those 82 games are over, I believe it's 6 months. Whereas this year, I think we played 72 in 5 months. So you cut the rest in half. Yes, there's less games, but you compress it all the way down. I know they did some interesting things with travel to try to keep some of that stuff down. So just as everyone's kind of complaining about this, let's remember what we asked all these guys to do. Again, with half the rest they normally have, to come out and play a schedule like this has been nuts. So it's just going to keep being a mess, and this is really why.
Yeah, LeBron called it. I knew these guys were going to get hurt. Like, okay, you're the guy that comes out after the game, be like, oh man, I bet the Hawks, second half because I knew this was going to happen. Like, shut up, LeBron. Like, and I'm not like a LeBron hater. Like, yeah, I mean, but some of the stuff he says is just stupid. Like, you don't need to say that. Like, yeah, we had a compressed season. Stuff like this might have happened. It's not something to get worked up about. You guys want your
Monday
paychecks
morning quarterbacking.
Yeah, you want your paychecks or not, guys. So, all right, Euros. Rough day, yes, 1-2 yesterday, but what have you done for me lately? The last one was a winner. pretty easy winner. I sold my last two bets. I actually sold some goals, what have you, a quarter of a goal each time, which is a half of a goal in total. So the Italy spread was like Italy minus 3/4. I bet Italy -1 at a plus number. That got home pretty easily. I bet the Ukraine was 2.25 this morning for the total. I sold that up to 2.5 for a decent plus number. That got home easy. It seemed like there should have been more goals there. Absolutely. This morning, this morning got another winner. So yeah, 2-match win streak. Like I'm back. I think I'm gonna have to update my little sheet. I'm in the plus money again. I'm back in the green, I believe. So this morning, I had a decent read on this one. The Denmark one is tough after the injury. Belgium's probably pretty good, but maybe they didn't play, a team that was quite as tough as they should have, or as they could have. It was really hard getting a grip on some of these teams that we don't know a lot about, that have only played one match, and we gotta put context to them here. But I am looking for a bit of a cagey match here to start again, and then I'll probably bet some Belgium live, possibly even during the first half. So Denmark Belgium first half draw is +111. I'm assuming, my mind process here is 0-0 draw, a scoreless draw. So you could also play some under if you're worried about one goal. You could get half a push on the under 0.75. But I'll play first half draw +111. Like I said, I'll probably be live betting. I do want Lukaku to score. He's my leading goal scorer at the Euros here. And then the Austria Netherlands. We talked about this a little last night too. And this number moved against me this morning after I said I was going to bet it last night, forgot. And I said, oh, I'm going to go in there and it's going to be like -140. It had gone the other way, which I guess isn't a great sign. I'm not sure how much liquidity a both teams to score market has, even in a really big tournament like this. But yeah, I'm going both teams. That's what that stands for, BTTS. It's a little bit of a little soccer jargon for you, no big deal. But
Trying to learn you something.
both teams to score -107 versus a scoreless draw, or only one team to score. This is a two-way market for most places. I don't see people trying to hose this one too much, but yeah, BTTS is one of my favorites here. I think Netherlands is absolutely, able. Just watching them last time against Ukraine, they're exploitable on the back end, and I think they have the chops to score on Austria too. Both of these teams played lesser teams, even though the Ukraine's a team I like. So both teams to score, and then Denmark first half draw for me today. And I'll have more tomorrow because there's soccer matches every day, which is a lot of fun.
Did you see that, Andy? That one's producer Dan approved.
Oh
he
yeah,
says that's the best one. That's
Netherlands to give up a goal here is pretty high on my list of things because they are, and I liked how Austria looked in the last match. I backed them at the handicap to cover. I think they won 3-1. 3-0. I don't remember what the Austria match ended up, but yeah, Austria looked good, and the Netherlands can score obviously. So yeah, let's go. This could cash in the first 20 minutes, and then I'll laugh.
That's what I was trying to see real quick. I wonder what Austria's team total, like over half a goal, is. I assume it's -1.
You can
it's probably
bet
something close to this price. Yeah,
you can bet both teams to score in the first half if you want to get real squirrely. Like, whenever I'm making these bets, I'm also placing like 6 other correlated bets for small money because of my crippling gambling problem. I'm not betting very big on these, and I like hitting some of these derivatives because when I'm right, I want to be super right, and I want to hit a big number on it too. So I've bet some final scores in a couple of these games as well. But yeah, tennis, huh? Tennis went okay. Our total, they had like 30 damn games in that match, I think.
Smooth, nice and easy. I know it wasn't a lot because I kept going back and looking. There was a couple I passed on that I liked, but we do have one for today. I went back and looked, and this one's kind of interesting because I see some value here on Donna Vekic in this match. He's going to play Heather Watson. The money line here is right around -190 or so, depending on where you look, and I like that. But I'm not going to parlay her here because honestly, she might be hurt. It looks like she's carrying possibly a leg injury, maybe some sort of back-related injury here. But I think if she shows up and she's mostly healthy here and completes this match, she's a great chance to win. And I think she covers this 3 games in most scenarios and pushes on them a lot. Now, you notice here I put the price up at -120. Actually, no, before I get to that. So the injury thing, right? One of the most tricky parts about tennis is you need to go through all your books and make sure you know which ones pay on which rules. Some will pay after the first set is complete. So they play the first set, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3, whatever it is, and then they quit after that. They'll take the money line. That'll be action. A lot of books, and this is most places as I look, cancel no matter what. Spreads and totals cancel everywhere. No matter where you are, they cancel. So as opposed to putting myself at risk of maybe picking the wrong book, say, that doesn't have the right money line rules or some sort of goofiness going on there, at least I know here if something happens to Vekic or even really happens to Watson, honestly, and they have to call this match a little early, I'm getting my money back. Now, -3 here. As you start to look around, you have to look for this a little bit. This is not necessarily the listed price everywhere. There's a lot of 3.5s. Look around, -3, -120, -125 even I like. Really want to make sure you get the push probability here on grass. A lot of these spreads tend to be a lot closer. And that hook there, if we have a 7-6, 6-4, if we have a 7-6, 7-5 kind of thing, as you get to 3 sets, that hook ends up being pretty valuable here. And I think that, right around this 3.5 spot, there's just a little value here in playing the 3 -120 or -125, as opposed to the 3.5. I'm seeing 3.5 -105, -10 some places. So really like the 3 here. Look around for that. If you have the 3.5, say, less than -110, lower than standard juice, that's probably okay too. But I'm looking for the 3 here and staying away from the money line again for all those reasons.
I gotcha. I'm trying to parlay stuff that it's not letting me parlay right now. I just tried to put in both teams to score in both halves, and it did the it was spinning like, hey, we're placing your bet. It was like 40-1, and it's like, just kidding, we're not gonna let you do that, Andy.
There might be
Whatever.
someone who has that as like a combo special.
I know I'm gonna have to look around, I think, because there are some fun ones too. Like you can bet both teams to score in the first half and one of the teams to be leading, like Austria and Denmark to score in the Austria and Netherlands to score in the first half, and Austria to be leading. Essentially, it has to be like 2-1 or 3-1 in the first half. It's like 40-1. So
How about Austria to score in both halves plus 575?
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, that's what I was trying to parlay with. Netherlands to score in both halves. It paid like 40-1. So did not let me do it. So if you missed yesterday, I put together some first round matchups. We had a little bit of a hiccup this morning in the world of the wide world of golf. Marine layer, full marine layer. I had to look up what this was a while back, years ago, because it was like another West Coast tournament. I'm like, oh, we can't start marine layer. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, just say fog. Like, don't have to give it a fancy ocean fog.
It's California. Ocean. Everything has to be fancy, Andy.
Yeah, it's ocean fog, I guess. But yeah, they just teed off like 30 minutes ago. They started quite a bit later. I think opening tee times were 9:45 Eastern. So here we are, about 2 hours late. Ended up being about 90 minutes late for tee times, just underway. But yeah, yesterday I put up some first round matchups. I'm not sure. I don't think any of them have started yet. Brandon Grace over Wyndham Clark. Stewie Sink over Eric Van Rooyen moved like 20 cents. Had some nice CLV. None of them moved against me, at least. I think Hadwind over Wiesberger is about the same, and Grace over Clark moved a penny or two, nothing much. So we will ride with those 3 guys. So you can find all that stuff. I put out an article. I tweeted about it. It's over on the BETSPERTS site. Has all the bets I went over here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I went over some bets. I did some stuff on approaching the green. I added some stuff independently that I hadn't talked about at any media yet. So if you want all my golf stuff, it is in blog form over on the BETSPERTS account, our website, and the app. You can find those. You can find that kind of media, that blog on the app as well. So I will have some round 2 stuff this afternoon, this evening. It'll be a little tricky because it's West Coast, but if we're going to have similar tee times, and hopefully we don't have marine layer tomorrow, but if it's going to be 8:45 my time, I'm up at like 5:30 a.m. Like maybe that's what I do, because I'm not sure these lines tonight, especially with the late start. I'm not sure I'm going to see lines before midnight tonight. So actually I'll have round 2 plays up. Look for them at like 7 a.m. Eastern. I'll post some stuff on the app and on Twitter. So it might be real early in the morning when I get them up, because I kind of like that West Coast stuff. You just get up in the morning and play your round plays before the, East Coast golf starts at like 6 a.m. my time, so it's a little trickier there. So otherwise, yeah, look for that blog forum. Check out Approaching the Green if you want to see some of the reasoning. And by all means, we do thank our sponsor, WinBet, who are still offering a $500 risk-free bet when you sign up with WinBet. I think they're in 6 or 7 states now, more pending. Links to sign up are in our pinned tweet at BrownBagBets on Twitter. We're on Twitter. Noops was very on Twitter last night and this morning with the
A lot of sad
with the,
stuff. A lot of
lot of
pondering.
sense. It's Philly season. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say
I
that
just,
either.
I'm the only team that I'm a fan of my whole life has been the Philadelphia 76ers. I've always made fun of people for being fans of teams, despite the fact that I am one. In the last couple of years, the last 2 games have just got me back to the point where I'm really wondering, even if they do pull it off and win the championship, does it make up for all this pain and suffering, Andy? I really don't know.
Not really.
I feel like I'm just playing a martingale that's never going to win. I feel like I'm chasing black on a roulette table, and it's just red, 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 red.
Yeah, maybe just take it easy. Maybe go for a nice
Okay, I'll
walk.
go
Maybe
for
a
a walk. Yeah.
round of golf this afternoon. So, all right. Hey, we'll catch you tomorrow for some Friday action. I'll talk about some golf. We'll talk some tennis. We'll talk basketball, and we'll get you off into the weekend. Maybe even some baseball. Who knows? I might bet some baseball. I don't care. Let's get weird with it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Bye.